Now let's take the time to perform some valuable exercises for this course. In this exercise, you're going to start by starting up the Junos OS and logging into the device. Then you're going to use the Show Interfaces command within Junos OS. Then you're going to use the Version and Version Details command and display interface statistics and errors. Then you're going to take a look at how to recover a forgotten password for the Junos device. And then finally, we'll look at how to shut down the Junos OS. Let's get started with starting up the Junos OS. What I want you to do is I want you to power on your Juniper device and then log in with the root account, and then finally start the command line interface environment for the Junos operating system. Now pause the video and perform this exercise. Let's take a look at the actions that you needed to perform for this exercise. So after powering on the Juniper device, you should be asked to log into the device. So here you can see I'm at the login prompt. So I'm going to type in my username of root with my password. Now once logged in, you'll notice that you are at the Linux shell prompt itself. So what I want to do is go into the command line interface by typing CLI. Now that I'm connected or logged into the Juniper device and at the command line interface, now I can fire off a number of different commands. So the next part of this exercise, what I want you to do is use the Show Interfaces command in the Junos OS to display interface properties. Now pause the video and perform the exercise. So to use the Show Interfaces command to display characteristics of your interfaces, we can just use the Show Interfaces command. Or what you could do as well is you could go and specify the interface that you actually want to display the statistics on. So if I hit enter on that, you can see that I have at the top here, let me scroll up a little bit. So I have the Show Interfaces FE 0/0/0. I can see that it's physical interface, that it's enabled, the physical link is up. So I can see the status on it. You can also see characteristics. I can see a description was assigned to that interface. I can see the MTU value, the speed of the interface. But then also as I scroll down, I can see the logical address. So the logical address is assigned to the logical interface, and I can see the IP address that's assigned to that interface. Now we also have a Show Interfaces terse command that you can use, which is kind of like a summary of the different interfaces and their status. So a lot of times when troubleshooting, we want to get the summary information just as a quick little glance at how all the interfaces are doing. Now in the next part of this exercise, I want you to use the Show Version command to display the Junos OS version information, and also look at using the Show Version Details command to look at detailed information about the Junos OS. Now pause the video and perform the exercise. So to display version information about the Junos OS, we can use the Show Version command. And here I can see the host name assigned to the device. I can see the model of the device itself, so it's a J2300. And then also we can see the Junos version of the operating system, so 7.4 R1.7. Now we can also use the Show Version Detail command to display detailed information about the Junos device. And notice that we get a lot of the same information towards the top of the output. So I can see the model of the device up top here. I can see the host name. I can see the version of the operating system. But also what's important here is we can see the version of each of the different modules that exist here within this Junos OS. Next, let's take a look at how to display interface statistics and errors within the Junos OS. Using the Show Interfaces command, display the statistics and errors within your Junos OS. Now pause the video and perform the exercise. To display statistics and errors on your interface, you can use the Show Interfaces command, then specify the interface that you want to display the statistics on, and then you can use the Detail command. Now when you use Detail, you'll get information, so the properties on the interface itself. So up top I can see the interface, I can see it's enabled, I can see the description, so the typical characteristics of the interface, the speed of the interface, but also what you'll notice down below here is we are getting some statistics on the interface itself. So I can get traffic statistics, as far as the number of bytes that have been sent and received, but also I can start seeing any kind of errors, so drop packets. So we do have drop packets down below as well. So this is a great command to be using just to kind of monitor the interface and just find out, how many packets are being sent and how many are being dropped. For this next exercise, you've forgotten the password for the Juniper router. So reset the password using password recovery techniques of the Juniper device. Now pause the video and perform the exercise. To recover the password for the Junos OS, the first thing that you need to do when powering on the device is watch for the prompt that says to press the spacebar to go into a command prompt. So I've already pressed the spacebar. You can see here it said press enter or spacebar to go to a command prompt. And the first thing that I want to do is go into single user mode. So I use the boot-s command to go into single user mode for the device so that I can then enter into recovery mode and change the password on the device. So now I'm going to type the recovery command. And once this is completed here, what I'm going to do is go into configuration mode and alter my password. Notice at no point in time have I been prompted for the password as I rebooted this device and went into recovery mode. Okay, so it's finished entering into recovery mode. So now what I'm going to do is type the edit command. And once in configuration mode, then I'm going to type set system root authentication, and I'll do plain text password. So I hit enter, it prompts me for what my new password's going to be, and then I confirm that password. And then I'll commit those changes. Perfect. As the last step in this exercise, you need to shut down the device to perform some maintenance on the device. So shut down the Junos OS from the CLI. Now pause the video and perform this exercise. In order to shut down the Junos OS, we can use actually let me exit back out of configuration mode here, and we're going to use the request system, and we can use let me use a question mark, but we can use the halt command if we wanted to shut down the system, or we could use the reboot command or reboot parameter to do a full reboot of the system. So if I'm looking to shut down the system, I can use a halt here and shut down the system. Are you sure you want to halt the system? Yes, I am. So I hit enter and the system is shutting down. So in these exercises, you practice some of the Junos device commands that you learned in the course.